Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something hard, something real. In this world, no one is your friend, not really. People smile at you, they shake your hand, they say nice words. But when the storm comes, when you fall, when you need help, most will disappear. You think you have friends, test them, borrow money, ask for help at 3 a.m. See who shows up. You see, life is not a fairy tale. No one is coming to save you. No one is waiting to give you success on a golden plate. If you believe that, you're dreaming. The world doesn't care about your dreams. The world doesn't care about your struggles. The world only cares about what you can do, what you can offer, what you can prove. I failed so many times. I was rejected from jobs, rejected from schools, rejected by people who thought I was crazy. But I never waited for someone to believe in me. I believed in myself. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go off, when the crowd fades, it's just you. Just you and your mind, just you and your will. You want success. You must be ready to walk alone, because the path to greatness is lonely. The path to greatness is filled with doubters, haters, and people who will try to pull you down. They don't want you to win. Why? Because if you win, it reminds them that they could have tried harder. Your success is a mirror to their laziness, their excuses, their fear. So stop expecting friendship from the world. Stop expecting favors. The only true friend you have is your hard work. The only true ally is your persistence. When you fall, get up by yourself. When you cry, wipe your own tears. When you feel weak, become your own strength. Look at the sky. The eagle flies alone. The sheep stay in flocks. You want to be the eagle or the sheep. You want to follow the crowd or lead your own way. The choice is yours. But remember, no one will give you permission to be great. No one will clap for you until you win. So stop waiting. Stop begging for approval. Work in silence. Let your success make the noise. Let your results speak for you, because talk is cheap. Promises are empty. Only action is real. Only effort is respected. And one more thing. When you finally make it, when you finally reach the top, you'll see something funny. Suddenly, everyone will be your friend. Suddenly, everyone will remember your name. But you'll know the truth. You'll know who was really there when you had nothing. So don't chase people. Chase your dreams. Don't beg for love, respect, or loyalty. Earn it. Build yourself so strong that people have no choice but to respect you. No one is your friend, but that's okay, because the strongest trees grow in the harshest winds. The toughest diamonds are formed under the greatest pressure. You don't need friends to succeed. You need courage. You need discipline. You need the fire inside you that refuses to die. Now go. Stop complaining. Stop waiting. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. So get up and fight, alone if you must. But never, ever give up. Let me tell you a harsh truth that most people never want to hear. The world doesn't owe you a single thing. Not success, not respect, not even a fair chance. You can cry about how unfair life is. You can complain that no one gives you opportunities. You can blame your parents, your teachers, your country, your luck. But at the end of the day, none of that changes reality. The universe operates on one simple rule. You get what you earn. Nothing more, nothing less. Think about it. When you were a child, maybe you believed in magic. That if you wished hard enough, things would just happen for you. But growing up means realizing that dreams don't work unless you do. No one is sitting in a dark room somewhere, plotting how to make your life easier. No one is waiting to hand you money, fame, or happiness just because you think you deserve it. The world is cold. The world is busy. The world has millions of people just like you, all fighting for the same things. And if you sit around expecting fairness, expecting help, expecting luck to save you, you will be left behind. Look at nature. The lion doesn't pray for the antelope to walk into its mouth. The antelope doesn't beg the lion to spare it. They both fight. They both run. They both understand that survival isn't a gift, it's a battle. And you think you're special. You think the rules don't apply to you. Wake up. The moment you accept that no one owes you anything is the moment you become dangerous, because now you stop waiting. Now you start taking I've seen too many people waste their lives waiting for the perfect job, waiting for the right connections, waiting for someone to discover them. And while they wait, others are moving. Others are hustling, others are failing, learning, adapting, and outworking everyone else. Those are the ones who win, not because they were luckier, but because they understood the game. The world rewards action, not wishes. You want money, go earn it. No one will give it to you. You want respect. Go build something worth respecting. No one will bow to you just because you think you're important. You want love. Go become someone worth loving. No one will cherish you just because you exist. Every single thing you desire in life must be taken, built, or earned. There are no handouts in this world. There are no free lunches. And here's the hardest part. Most people will lie to you. They'll tell you, just be patient, your time will come. They'll say, stay positive and good things will happen. That's nonsense. Good things happen to those who make them happen. Your time will come only when you go out and grab it. Patience is not a strategy. It's an excuse for those too afraid to act. Think about the greatest people in history. Did they wait for permission? Did they wait for someone to believe in them? No. They took what they wanted. They faced rejection. They faced failure. They faced armies of doubters. And they kept moving because they knew the world doesn't respond to beggars. It responds to fighters. So ask yourself, are you still waiting? Are you still expecting someone to open the door for you? Stop. The door is already open. It's just not labeled for you. It's labeled for those bold enough to walk through it. The moment you truly understand that the world doesn't owe you anything is the moment you become free. Free from excuses, free from disappointment, free from the delusion that someone else is responsible for your life. Now go, the clock is ticking, and the world won't wait for you to catch up. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Real success isn't a party where everyone cheers you on. It's more like walking through a dark tunnel where you can't even see your own hand in front of your face. And you know what's worse. Most of the people who claim to support you will disappear the moment things get tough. They'll call you crazy when you start, jealous when you're on your way, and then suddenly claim they believed in you all along when you finally make it. The path to greatness isn't paved with applause and high fives. It's littered with sleepless nights, unanswered questions, and moments where you'll question everything about yourself. You'll sit alone in your room at 3 a.m. wondering if you're just fooling yourself while everyone else is asleep or out having fun. That's when you'll discover what you're really made of, when there's no audience, no encouragement, just you and your stubborn refusal to quit. Remember this, the crowd doesn't climb mountains. They stay in the valley where it's safe and comfortable. When you choose to chase something extraordinary, you automatically separate yourself from 99% of people. They won't understand your obsession. They'll call you selfish for working late instead of hanging out. They'll say you're missing out on life, while they're the ones stuck in the same routine year after year. The loneliness isn't just about being physically alone, it's about thinking differently. While others worry about what's popular now, you'll be obsessed with what's coming next. While they're content with surface-level knowledge, you'll dive deep into mastery. This mental distance grows until you realize you're speaking a language most people don't understand. That's when you know you're getting somewhere worth going. People love the idea of success, but hate the process. They want the six-pack abs without the gym sessions. They want the successful business without the 80-hour weeks. They want the perfect relationship without the hard conversations. That's why they'll drop off one by one as your journey gets more demanding. And that's okay. The weight of your dreams wasn't meant to be carried by committee. Here's the raw truth: if your path doesn't scare you sometimes, if you're not occasionally wondering whether you've made a terrible mistake, you're not aiming high enough. The uncertainty is part of the deal. The doubt is the price of admission. Every legendary innovator, artist, and leader faced moments where they stood completely alone against the tide of popular opinion. That's not an exception, that's the rule. The magic happens in those solitary moments when no one's watching. It's in the extra hour of practice when the stadium is empty. It's in the pages written that no one may ever read. It's in the prototypes that fail again and again. These are the moments that forge real achievement, not the spotlight, but the shadows where the real work gets done. You'll be tempted to look for companions on this journey. You'll want someone who understands exactly what you're going through. But here's the paradox: the higher you climb, the fewer people there are at your altitude. The more unique your vision becomes, the harder it is to find true peers. That isolation isn't a sign you're doing it wrong, it's proof you're doing something original. The people who change the world don't fit in. That's exactly how they change it. They see what others don't. They endure what others won't. They keep going when others can't. And that requires a level of solitude that would break most people. But not you. Because you understand that being temporarily misunderstood is the cost of doing anything worth remembering. So when you find yourself standing alone, when the doubts creep in, when the sacrifices feel too heavy, remember, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. The loneliness isn't a flaw in your journey, it's the clearest sign you're on the right path. The crowd isn't ahead of you, they're exactly where you left them. Keep walking. The view from the top is reserved for those willing to make the climb alone. Let me tell you something you won't hear in motivational speeches: hard work doesn't love you back. It's not your cheerleader, it's not your therapist. It's that brutal, relentless taskmaster that shows up every damn day whether you feel like it or not. But here's the secret the successful ones know: while people will disappoint you, while luck will betray you, while circumstances will change on you, hard work never lies. It never cheats. It never makes empty promises. You want to know the difference between dreamers and doers. The dreamers talk about their plans at parties. The doers are home working while the party's happening, while everyone's taking selfies and posting about their future success. The winners are in the lab, in the studio, in the garage, putting in reps when no one's counting. That's the dirty little truth about achievement. It's not about talent. It's not about connections. It's about who's willing to bleed when no one's watching. Let me break your heart: a little natural talent is overrated. I've seen gifted people waste their potential while mediocre people outwork them into greatness. The world is full of could-have-beens who relied on their gifts instead of their grind. Meanwhile, the people you admire, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists at the top of their game, they all share one thing. They fell in love with the daily grind while everyone else was looking for shortcuts. Here's what nobody tells you: hard work is boring. It's repetitive. It's showing up on days when you're not inspired. It's doing the drills when you're already good enough. It's practicing the fundamentals when you're already advanced. That's why most people quit. They want fireworks and standing ovations for showing up. Real work happens in the silent spaces between the applause. You think success comes from one big moment. Wrong. It comes from thousands of small moments where you chose work over distraction. It's the extra hour you put in when colleagues went home. It's the extra set when your muscles were screaming to stop. It's the extra draft when you thought you were finished. These aren't heroic moments, they're quiet choices that compound over time into something extraordinary. People will try to sell you secrets and hacks and systems. They'll promise you success without sweat. Don't buy it. The real secret is there is no secret. Just work, more work, better work, smarter work, consistent work. The kind of work that makes your competitors quit just looking at your schedule. The kind of work that turns your haters into historians documenting your rise. And here's the beautiful part: hard work is the great equalizer. It doesn't care where you went to school. It doesn't care who your parents are. It doesn't care about your past mistakes. It only asks one question: what can you do today? That's it. That's the whole game. While others are waiting for perfect conditions, for inspiration, for someone to give them a break, you're putting in the work. Day after day, month after month, year after grinding year, the work doesn't get easier, you get stronger. The challenges don't get smaller. Your capacity grows. That's the alchemy of hard work. It transforms you as you transform your craft. The person who finishes the marathon isn't the same one who started it. The entrepreneur who builds the company isn't the same as the one who had the idea. The artist who completes the masterpiece isn't the same as the one who made the first sketch. Work changes you at a molecular level. So when you're tired, work. When you're discouraged, work. When you feel like you're getting nowhere, work harder. Not as punishment, but as promise. Because every drop of sweat is a down payment on a future you can't yet see. Every late night is an investment in a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. The work is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to become. People will come and go. Trends will rise and fall. Luck will ebb and flow, but hard work, that's your constant. That's your anchor. That's the one friend that never flakes, never fakes, never fails you. It's the only thing in this world you can truly control, your willingness to outwork everyone else in the room. So ask yourself tonight, when the distractions fade, when the excuses run out, when it's just you and your dreams, will you be able to look in the mirror and say you gave it everything? Not just when it was easy, not just when you felt like it, but every single day, because that's where legends are made, in the space between I should and I did. In the choice between comfortable and committed, in the decision to work when no one else will, so you can live like no one else can. Let me tell you something brutally honest: nobody respects a beggar. Not in the streets, not in business, not in life. When you go around pleading for approval, begging for opportunities, or groveling for recognition, you're not building respect, you're building pity. And pity is the weakest currency in the world. It buys you nothing of real value. The moment you stop chasing validation and start building undeniable strength is the moment the world starts coming to you. Look at nature. The lion doesn't beg the antelope to be its dinner. The oak tree doesn't plead with the sun to give it light. They stand strong in their own power, and the world responds accordingly. That's the law of the universe. Weakness repels, strength attracts. Not just physical strength, mental toughness, emotional resilience, unshakable confidence in your own abilities. When you develop that kind of inner steel, you won't need to ask for respect. It will be given automatically. I've seen too many talented people waste their potential because they were too busy trying to be liked instead of being respected. They softened their edges to fit in. They downplayed their ambitions to seem humble. They accepted less than they deserved because they were afraid to demand more. And where did it get them? Nowhere. The world doesn't reward people who play small to make others comfortable. It rewards those who stand tall in their truth and let the chips fall where they may. Here's the hard truth: respect isn't given, it's commanded. Not through words, but through actions. Not through promises, but through results. When you become so good they can't ignore you, when you develop skills that are undeniable, when you carry yourself with quiet confidence that doesn't need to announce itself, that's when people start treating you differently. Not because you ask them to, but because they have no choice. Think about the people you truly respect in your life. Did they earn that by constantly telling you how great they were, by reminding you of their accomplishments? By fishing for compliments? Of course not. They earned it by being the kind of person who doesn't need to say a word. Their presence speaks for itself. That's the power you need to cultivate. The power of silent strength that doesn't beg for attention but always gets it anyway. Too many people confuse being nice with being weak. They think if they're agreeable enough, helpful enough, accommodating enough, the world will reward them with respect. It doesn't work that way. The world respects boundaries. It respects standards. It respects those who respect themselves first. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, when you walk away from what diminishes you, when you demand what you're worth, that's when people start looking at you differently. Building real strength isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most grounded. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being unshakable in your pursuit of them. It's not about never falling. It's about how you carry yourself when you get back up. This kind of strength radiates. It changes how people interact with you before you even speak. It opens doors that begging could never unlock. Remember this: every time you compromise your standards to please someone, you're teaching them how to treat you. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you're setting the price for your worth. Every time you beg for a seat at the table instead of building your own table, you're confirming that you belong at the kids' table. Stop negotiating your value with people who can't recognize it. Build it. Prove it. Let your results speak so loudly that no one can pretend not to hear. The beautiful irony is that the less you chase respect, the more it comes to you. When you're focused on your mission, committed to your growth, unwavering in your standards, people can't help but take notice. They may not always like you, but they will respect you. And in the long run, respect outlasts popularity every single time. Popularity is about pleasing others. Respect is about staying true to yourself regardless of others. So stop asking, stop explaining, stop justifying. Put that energy into becoming, into building, into creating something so undeniable that respect becomes the natural byproduct. The strongest trees don't beg the wind to stop blowing, they dig deeper roots. The mightiest rivers don't plead with the rocks to move, they find another way. That's the lesson, that's the path. That's how you command respect without ever having to ask for it. When you operate from this place of quiet strength, something magical happens. The right people recognize it. The right opportunities find you. The respect you stopped chasing starts following you. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through the simple act of refusing to be anything less than your most powerful self. That's the alchemy of true respect. It comes not from what you take, but from what you've become.